With the most recent episode of the show, episode 4, being released and it providing the reunion and fixture that we all wanted to see, this episode most certainly didn't disappoint. It contained emotion, rivalries, and conflict in decisions, all things that seem to sum up what this overall season of the show is about. With an upcoming episode titled Signs being the next one to arrive, it could mean a ton of different things, but there are a couple of different directions that I think it could go in. So with that, I thought I'd give my theories and predictions on what I think is going to happen in the next episode. So let's get into it. Here is Ted Lasso Season 3 Episode 5 Theories Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. With the episode being titled Signs, there are a few different things that this could mean. We've had an episode that is focused primarily on Ted, and an episode that is focused on Keeley and Roy's relationship, but we've not had one that has seen Rebecca take the screen front and center, so episode 5 could well be that. In episode 3 of the show, we saw that Rebecca met with a psychic who shared a lot of different signs with her about her future and all that there is to come. So I feel this could be something that we could see occurring and coming to the forefront of the story, as we've only seen the green matchbook being a reality so far. With the psychic also mentioning to her that there would be a shite in Nining armor, that she would be upside down and drenched, and that she would also be a mother, there is still a wide variety of different things that we could see unfolding for the character and her growth in the season. With Rebecca still wanting to get one over on Rupert and also still seeming as though she's interested in Sam, we could see some of the signs tying into that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. However, I do think that she will have a large focus in the next episode. The overarching plot. Following the humiliating defeat to West Ham in the most recent episode where AFC Richmond saw multiple players get sent off and also get booked, I feel we're going to see a lot of hostility present in the dressing room and just running throughout the club. I believe the video of Nate tearing the believe sign is still going to be something that's going to be within all of their minds and make them unhappy at the fact that maybe Ted is so willing to push it to the side, whilst also being able to forgive Nate, or at least act as if he isn't hurt. I also think we're most likely going to be seeing a different side to Zava. He didn't have much focus in episode 4 of the show, but there were talks of him potentially regretting his decision in going to AFC Richmond, and the feeling of his teammates letting him down being present. So I do also wonder if we're going to see some pushback from the star player, and him potentially wanting to leave, especially with there not being a proper signature that was present on his contract. This could be a legal loophole that they may be able to work through to enable Zava to leave the club, because technically his name isn't signed on the contract. I think with the club having to deal with some players that are going to be out for a few games due to receiving red cards, I believe we're also going to see that impact the position that AFC Richmond currently hold in the table. I believe that with 3 of their starters out for most likely 3 games due to the dangerous nature of the tackles, the team will start to fall down the table with their poor results and lack of depth in their squad. I think this will most likely change the environment and atmosphere that we've seen present throughout the season so far. We've seen a Richmond side go on a good run of winning games, and they're most probably now going to be losing a few, which means that I think the pressure will get put on Ted a bit more, and the players will most probably start to feel the weight of the losses. Something that I think could also make Zava feel as though he wants to leave, because we've not seen how he handles losing games. Nate. We saw a real different side to Nate in the most recent episode, a side that actually showed us that he felt bad about how he left AFC Richmond and the way that he treated Ted. However, he wasn't able to properly apologize to Ted due to Rupert arriving and intervening, and also because he was interrupted by Rupert's assistant after the game before he left. Nate is in a world that is alien to him, as was made apparent by his expensive car being parked outside of his home, the starstruck nature when he was around famous people, and also the fact that he was flexing his fame in the restaurant. I feel this is going to be something that's going to start to get to him, and we'll see him start to move away from the lifestyle that he's currently leading. He's a man with no real direction or anybody to look up to anymore, as that was once Ted. Now he has Rupert, who is clearly manipulating him and is somebody who Nate doesn't enjoy being around. So I think with him feeling like he's almost an imposter in the lifestyle and around the toxicity that is Rupert, we may see him change as a character completely and look to reconcile with Ted and the rest of the club. I'd like to see that happen because Nate isn't being his true self right now, and the rift that is present is something that he did want to nip in the bud. Keeley. I think Keeley is going to start to face some moral dilemmas. We saw that Jack Danvers arrived at the club and was impressed with Keeley, and they actually got on quite well. However, I feel as though Danvers' arrival and the fact that she's the boss is something that's going to come as a great importance to the story, as her involvement did feel quite pointless in the most recent episode. However, I do feel as though it's building towards something. I believe Danvers is going to start to notice that Shandy is actually causing more problems for the company than good. We got a glimpse of it in the most recent episode where Shandy changed the tagline of banter, and it went horrifically wrong. So I believe Keeley may be forced into a situation where she needs to get rid of her friend, which could in turn end up leading her to be closer to Roy. As we saw, since Shandy came onto the scene, Keeley has been more occupied and even ignored Roy when they walked past each other in the hallway. So maybe with Shandy being gone and Keeley maybe not dealing with the fact that she had to get rid of one of her good friends, Roy may be able to comfort her and be that shoulder to listen to that she could need. I hope that is the case at least, as I feel they are definitely going to get back together. There are many different directions that the show could go in within the next episode, but they are the main things that I think will happen. I think we'll continue to see Ted struggling with the idea of being away from his family and feeling the weight of not being able to influence Henry's life. I also feel we could see something happen with the USB stick that Ted asked for with the video of Nate tearing down the sign. However, I believe he will just keep it so it's out of the way and will be unretrievable from the team. But there could be some darker intentions with it. There is also the story of Colin being gay and Trent noticing him with Michael, so I feel that will be picked up a little more as time goes on. Trent could well be planning on leaking the story, which I think would be a bad move for the character, or he could help Colin and control the narrative of the story if he did come out to his fellow teammates. So it's one that I'm intrigued to see how it will be handled. I imagine delicately. Then we've also got Roy and Jamie growing closer, with Roy training him and the desire to be better than Zava. So I think if Zava does end up leaving the club or prove to be a problem in the dressing room, Jamie will have the skill, capability and mindset to be able to step up and be the number 9 that everybody needs within the team. It's going to be interesting to see how the next episode plays out. So, there you have it, Ted Lasso Season 3 Episode 5 Theories Explained. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen next? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.